Hello, and thanks so much for joining us for our virtual annual luncheon. My name is Jake. I have the honor and privilege of serving as Camp Henry's Executive Director. Over the next 20 minutes or so, you're going to get a chance to hear from Lori Hartzell, Westminster Presbyterian Church's Executive Pastor, the Larson family, some additional remarks from me, as well as the Camp Henry song, along with some images and voices of some of our campers. When this video wraps up, you'll have the chance to consider making a contribution to Camp Henry. Thanks so much for taking some time to watch this video and for joining us today.
On the shores of old Lake Kimball, tapestried in green, lies a camp that we call Henry. Happy days are seen. Oh, Camp Henry, where we love to go, where the campfires gleam the brightest, where our friendships grow. On the shores of old Lake Kimball, tapestried in green, lies a camp that we call Henry. Happy days are seen. Oh, Camp Henry, where we love to go, where the campfires gleam the brightest, where our friendships grow. Days done, gone the sun, from the lakes, from the hills, from the sky. All is well, safely rest. God is nigh.
Well, I think for many kids, camp is just absolutely life-changing, where they go into camp and a lot of people they're meeting for the first time, and so then they're not like, oh, well, so-and-so knows me the way I'm at school, and so I have to act like who I am at school, or I have to act who I am at sports practice or anything, and they can just be who they are without having to feel like they need to keep up who they're expected to be, and they can be actually who they truly are.
One way that camp has affected my life personally is by teaching me how to spread all the love and affection and all of the Christ-felt feelings that I get from this place, and to take them out to the world and to show everyone that camp is not the only place you can feel like this, and to make them feel as special as I did here at Camp Henry.
On the shores of old Lake Kimball, tapestried in green, lies a camp that we call Henry. Happy days are seen. Oh, Camp Henry, where we love to go, where the campfires gleam the brightest, where our friendships grow.
My favorite part of camp, week 6 was when we had the camp out and it was raining down on our heads, and we just had a good vibe, and it was all fun, and we ran back to the cabin and played Muddy Gaga after, and it was just so fun.
I love camp because I get to meet new people. I love camp because I like new friends I meet, and I really like going on a banana boat. The best part about camp is meeting people.
I've made friends that have been my lifelong friends now, and I've been coming for 8 years, and it has been something that I look forward to throughout the entire year, and has changed my life personally because I've become more outgoing, learned how to have fun through doing things that I don't prefer doing usually, and it brings me out of my comfort zone. And every year I make the best memories with new people.
My favorite activity this week has been the banana boat. My favorite thing about camp is definitely the horses. They are very loving, kind, and sweet.
I first heard of Camp Henry about 10 years ago when this guy named Jake Jacobs called me. I was sitting in my office at the First Presbyterian Church of Benton Harbor at the time, and he told me that camp had received a grant from the Upton Foundation, and he was hoping to use some of that grant money to scholarship some Benton Harbor youth to come to camp. That was the beginning of a relationship between the First Presbyterian Church of Benton Harbor and Camp Henry that continues to this past summer and will continue on. Each year, the church there is able to send 10 to 12 young people to camp. And it is so true that these experiences for these kids form them and are very significant in their lives. I wrote down today some of the things that I've heard them tell me about camp over the years, and I'd like to just share them with you. One of them told me once, "When I'm at camp, I know God is real, especially when we are singing in the outside chapel at Vespers." Another one told me, "When I'm at camp, I feel safe. I can talk about what is most important to me, and no one will make fun of me. The counselors and the campers really listen to you." Another one said, "When I'm having a bad day and need to smile, I just remember riding the banana on Lake Kimball. I know there'll be better days ahead." One told me once, "Since being at camp, I like to try to find other trees and woods where I can go and pray, because I can pray in the woods best." Another one said, "Being at camp," a number of them have told me this one, "being at camp helps me know that I can be friends with people who are different than me." I also have an adult niece with cognitive disabilities who's been able to attend camp for many years through Camp Sunshine. She told me once that she fell in love with God's world at camp and has been in love with God's world ever since. And it's not just Benton Harbor youth and people with cognitive disabilities. It's all of us, our youth, our families that benefit from camp, isn't it? We live in such a high-tech world right now. We need places where we can unplug, be with God, learn about ourselves, be with God's creation, be with each other in new ways. We need that kind of wholeness in our lives. And camp is a place for wholeness. And so your gift to camp, your generous gift to camp, is offering wholeness to our world and to our youth. So give generously. Thanks.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us today and taking some time to attend our virtual annual luncheon. While I sure wish we were able to gather in person, I am excited knowing that this virtual format is going to make it possible for more people to attend. And while some of you might be missing out on dressing up a bit and gathering for an actual lunch, I know some of you are probably thrilled to be watching this right now wearing your sweatpants and a t-shirt. You know, as the 2020 calendar turned from March to April, COVID-19, what many of us had hoped was going to be a temporary disruption, we realized it was something much greater than that. Everything from schools and churches to restaurants and sports, everything stopped. Everything changed. Throughout the spring, it was super hard navigating our way here at Camp Henry. Many parents chose to cancel their registrations for their kids this summer. We understood. We offered a full refund to everybody that requested one. Multiple camps across the nation and across the state of Michigan made the hard decision to close. Summer staff members and their parents were worried about the health and safety of those staff members throughout the summer. Some decided to make other plans and turn down positions to work with us at Camp Henry this summer. We understood and we supported those staff members. We had no money coming in. Every group from March 8th forward canceled their plans to come to Camp Henry. This resulted in a loss of almost $200,000. And we still had no guarantees or no certainties of whether summer camp was going to be able to run at all. We were paying out far more in cancellation fees than we were bringing in summer camp revenue. Yet we decided that we were going to commit to our staff members and those that were willing to commit to camp. We decided we'd go ahead and pay them for the summer, even if we had to cancel, even if we needed to close. It seems like every day From April through the end of May, we were hearing different information. We set up Zoom meetings to connect with our staff members. We continued to reassure staff members that we intended to run for the summer if we could. We certainly had no guarantees or assurances that we would in fact be able to open, but we were committed to do so until someone told us we could not. We connected online, we created a community, we talked about our theme, we got to know each other, and we geared up and planned for the summer. Eventually we showed up for staff training, still not knowing what lied ahead, and if we would actually be able to serve a single camper this summer. 1 week of staff training stretched into 2. We built A-frame shelters, we painted a bus, we had pickleball tournaments, and we got to know each other as we planned and prepared. And we remained hopeful, and we remained optimistic that campers would eventually come. We experimented with many different options for food service. We tinkered and then tinkered some more with the program and the schedule. We came up with a completely new way to welcome and to greet campers on opening day. We made videos so we could introduce counselors to camper parents. We anticipated the need to keep kiddos separate and socially distanced, so we bought pop-up canopies and wristbands every color of the rainbow, and we spray painted circles on the ground so kids would know where to stand. Volunteers made homemade face coverings. We conducted daily temperature checks, and every staff member had the opportunity to get COVID tested. We had to cancel mini week. Week 1 turned into Days of Adventure programs where we were able to serve some kiddos for day-only options. Finally, the governor and the state of Michigan said, let them come. And on June 28th, summer camp started. The campers came. Parents were uncertain, campers were nervous, and we embarked on a summer like no other. Yet day in and day out, we loved each camper and we loved each other as best we could. If you were to ask me, who are essential workers and what is essential work? My answer, staff members are essential workers and running a summer camp is essential work. The word essential refers to things that are undeniably needed, that are extremely important, that are absolutely necessary. One definition that I came across for essential reads, essential implies belonging to the very nature of a thing, and therefore incapable of removal without destroying that thing or its character. I know that I'm highly biased, yet I truly believe that summer camp is essential, in particular for the health, development, and well-being of a child. We know from firsthand experience that when you remove a child from camp on that last day and as they say goodbye to friends and staff members they've been living and learning and laughing with throughout the week, that it's hard and they are sad. Yet we trust that the positive and life-changing experiences they've had at camp will help them thrive well beyond their week that they spent at camp. However, if we look at it differently and we consider instead of removing a camper from camp, but we consider removing camp from the life of a child, I believe the implications are significant. I think it's quite possible that this would potentially have a significant disruption to the development and the character of that child. You see, I know kids that long for and live for camp. All throughout the year, the background music running through their head are the words and the sounds and the rhythms of camp songs. They have a camp sticker on their water bottle, their laptop, their mirror, and sometimes without their parents' permission in the back of their car. Their friends and their neighbors are sick of hearing all of their camp stories. Before they can even get to the parking lot on closing day, they've already signed up to come back the next summer. These kids that long for and that live for camp, what is essential to them is much more than this place. Don't get me wrong, we are blessed to have amazing facilities, cabins, buildings at camp, and we love them, and we love this place. We love the cooling waters of Lake Kimball on a hot day. We love the majesty of the chapel. We love hearing the bell ring throughout camp. Yet what is essential to campers is the experience. The experience of growing in your independence as you spend a week away from your family. The experience of discovering joy and passion for something new, paddling a canoe, mastering a spin in Foursquare, making a friendship bracelet and giving it to a new friend, feeling the breeze on your face as you walk across the field sitting on the back of a horse. The experience of having a staff member listen to you, truly listen to you, eager to get to know you, and that loves you just as you are, right where you are. The experience of getting to know the favorite version of yourself, the version that is free from criticism and judgment, the version that embraces hope and joy and love and optimism. The experience of closing your eyes during the last verse of Sing Hallelujah to the Lord and letting those words wash over you as you know that you are in a community like no other, where you are fully loved. These experiences are formative. They are transformational. They are life-changing. And they are essential. Providing these experiences would not be possible without amazing staff members. When it comes to belonging to the very nature of a thing and therefore being incapable of removal without destroying the thing itself or its character, well, this holds true for summer staff members and summer camp. It would be incapable, impossible to remove summer staff and still have summer camp. I want to take a minute to acknowledge the summer staff and to thank the ones that I had the honor and privilege of working alongside this past summer. I've been blessed to be a part of the summer staff at Camp Henry for 29 years. Many of my greatest and fondest memories and moments have happened during those 29 summers at Camp Henry. Yet this summer stands apart from the other 28. This summer was hard. This summer was unprecedented. This summer we were forced to reinvent much of what we do and how we do it. This summer we woke up every day not knowing if it would be our last before we would have to close due to COVID. I think given the opportunity, the staff members I worked with those other 28 summers, and staff members that were here well before I arrived on the scene, they would have likely met these challenges as well. Yet the staff members of 2020, they were the ones in this unique position to face the challenges of this summer. And I am so thankful for them for embracing these challenges and for delivering day after day, moment after moment. And they delivered on our mission of providing those life-changing experiences for all within our Christian environment. It was not easy. I don't think I've ever personally worked as hard as I did this past summer, but I also don't think I've ever had a summer where I knew that campers needed camp more than this summer. So while camp is essential for children and summer staff are essential for camp, having the support and encouragement of you, our supporters, and members of the camp community is essential for the success and the well-being of camp. I am so thankful that I have the honor of serving at Camp Henry, and I am keenly aware that this is only made possible through the generous and continued support of so many that believe in and support our mission and what we do at camp. My hope is that you will consider partnering with us today in making a financial contribution. Over the past 9 years, we have utilized the funding from this event for many different reasons. From the early years where the money was needed to pay the light bill and purchase toilet paper, to 2016 where we were able to start the Camp Henry Endowment Fund at the Grand Rapids Community Foundation, and to other years where the money's been able to go towards scholarships, special projects, and building campaigns. Yet this year has been like none other in our 84-year history. Our spring season from March to June was completely wiped out. This past summer we were only able to serve roughly half of the kids that we had planned on. And this fall, almost every public school and retreat group has canceled. As a result, our revenue this year will fall $1 million below what was budgeted for 2020. Yet we're incredibly thankful that due to reducing expenses by about $450,000, by contributions from the PPP loan, Westminster Presbyterian Church, and generous endowments, we've been able to significantly close that gap between our revenue and our expenses. However, we still find ourselves in a position where our annual luncheon and our annual giving maybe is more important than ever. We know that this will help position us not only to survive 2020, but to thrive in 2021 and beyond. We are thrilled to share that an anonymous donor has offered a generous matching challenge. This donor will match one for dollar, every dollar that's donated during our annual luncheon, up to $100,000. In addition, we are thrilled to let you know that one family has already stepped forward, and they've already made a gift of $50,000, getting us halfway to our goal. Our hope is to raise that other $50,000 so we can completely leverage the $100,000 matching challenge. As you consider a financial contribution, I would love to encourage you to consider a multi-year gift. Having supporters that commit to us every year and that make us part of their annual giving is super helpful for our planning and our preparation. In particular, it'll be helpful this year as we come out of 2020 and look to 2021 and beyond. I'm hopeful you will consider joining these generous donors. I'm hopeful that you will help us at Camp Henry continue to provide positive, encouraging, life-changing, and essential experiences here at Camp Henry. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Peter Larson.
I'm Judy Larson.
And I'm Tim Larson.
Many of you have heard this story before, but it's a good story, and it's worth repeating. 25 years ago, Judy and I found Westminster and Camp Henry. Timothy was 2, and Jonathan was just a baby.
Over the years, our kids grew up going to Westminster with several of you. They attended just about everything: nursery, nurturing center, worship center, Sunday school, confirmation, youth choirs, youth groups, family camp, retreats, mission trips.
Growing up, I went to Camp Henry as a camper for a couple of years, and I loved it. So when I was old enough, I applied and was hired as a counselor at Camp Henry.
It had nothing to do with Judy being on the board of Camp Henry.
Or Peter.
I had a great summer.
Yeah, it was great. I think he came home maybe twice that summer, did 6 loads of laundry, slept all day, and then went back to camp.
So at the end of the summer, I got a phone call.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Timothy, what's going on?
Not much. Camp's over.
So what are you up to?
Just packing up.
Okay.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
I was wondering,
Yeah?
would it be all right with you and Mom if I got a tattoo?
Well, Timothy, it's not really my thing, but you better check with your mom.
Okay. Bye.
You know what's coming next, right?
So Timothy calls and says, Mom?
Mom, Dad said it was okay that I get a tattoo.
So I said to him, I suppose it's okay as long as it's not too big. What kind of tattoo are you thinking of getting?
I want to get the Camp Henry logo, the tree, on my shoulder.
Wow, Timothy, that's really cool. Just remember, this is permanent. It's going to be there the rest of your life.
And I said, yeah, I know. That's the point.
That's what happens in this community and at Camp Henry. To everyone we touch, we give them something that they cannot erase and that they will have for the rest of their lives.
That's the point.
You know, we've told this story many times. And one time when I told it at Westminster, someone came up to me afterwards and said, you know, you've done a great job raising your kids. And I said, well, I don't know that we did a great job, but we have great kids. And it's because of you and of Camp Henry.
You see, each time that you make Camp Henry a priority, you make our family a priority and countless other families a priority. We cannot thank you enough for that.
So as you are thinking about Camp Henry, don't just think about my tattoo. Think about all the people that Camp Henry touches.
And how, through your commitment, you give everyone that Camp Henry touches something that cannot be erased and something that they will have for the rest of their lives.
That's the point.
Day in and day out, week after week, year by year, Camp Henry touches the lives of countless children and their families. Your support makes that possible, and we thank you for that.
Hey, thanks again for joining us for our online virtual luncheon. If we were gathered in person right now, somebody would be passing out a pledge card so you could consider making a financial contribution to camp. And even though we're not gathered in person, we still hope you'll take that opportunity now. Our hope is that you're going to complete a short online questionnaire where you can make a one-time contribution today, or you can pledge to make Camp Henry a part of your annual giving for anywhere for 2 to the next 5 years. You can find the link to this online questionnaire in the description to this video, and we'll also be sending the link out to you through an email as well. Within that email, we'll also provide information for how you could send in a check if that is your preferred method for donating, and we'll also again include a link to this online questionnaire. At the completion of this questionnaire, you can click on the thank you, click here to make an online donation now button, which will take you directly to our online secure donation page. Again, thanks for attending today, and thanks for considering partnering with us as we work to provide life-changing and essential experiences for our campers and guests. Thanks so much.
We love